Habits shape your life probably more than you would ever realize. Habits are an important force that our brains actually cling to because uh, they create this neurological cravings that leads to behavior that is rewarded, and that in turn releases pleasure chemicals. So not only are habits powerful and strong, but they also do not matter because when habits take over and when they become automated, when it's repeated over a period of time, then habits become a routine and they become automated. And when habits become automated, our decision making skills take a back seat. So during that time, even common sense doesn't really matter. That is why habits are super important. And habits, we need to make sure that we know that whether we have bad habits or we have good habits. Habits work because of a particular habit loop. So, how it works is that you have either a cue or a trigger, which could be because of time, date, or a particular place or a particular emotional state of mind. So, you have a cue, and then it takes you to the routine, which is more like you would go ahead and watch TV at the same time, or you would be smoking a cigarette or having a glass of wine, or you would be going and indulging in overeating or eating chocolate at a particular time or a place or in a particular state of mind. And when you follow that routine, it leads to reward, which is basically the gratification that you feel after eating that piece of chocolate, or the gratification that you feel after you've smoked a cigarette. So once that pleasure seeking chemical has been released in your brain, which has led to the reward, and you felt satisfied within yourself, there's this entire set pattern that is set, which is cue or a trigger, which leads you to a routine, and the routine leads you to a reward, and then it keeps going in a vicious cycle, and that leads you to making habits. Now the funny thing is that our brain doesn't know the difference between good habit or a bad habit. So if there's a habit and you have it, then the brain really doesn't know whether you're indulging in good habits or bad habits. So it is purely your responsibility to make sure that you have the right habits. You have good habits and not bad habits. When a habit emerges, the brain stops fully participating in the decision making. So it would be easier if you understand this entire habit loop, because once you know what is the cue or what is the trigger that is causing you to lead to that particular habit or a routine that you've been following, then you can go ahead and go to the root cause of the problem and you can break that habit. Now, habits are encoded in the structure of our brain, and they save us a lot of effort, and we don't really have to relearn everything that we do. So when we think of habits in that manner, then it's actually a very good thing, because imagine if you had to relearn how to write ABCD because it did not become a habit when you were a kid. How much trouble we would be in today. We won't be able to read or write clearly. So, in a way, habits can be a curse or a blessing. It just depends on how you want to go ahead and lead your life because of the habits that you create in your life. So, make sure that you have the right habits, and the automatization of your actions free up the energy that can be used to focus on the other tasks, because you don't have to relearn everything. Then you can actually go ahead and focus on doing other tasks, and this can work to your advantage, because if for any reason you have a bad habit that is created, then you need to change it. You need to interrupt it, and you need to install a new habit within yourself. And it is only your job and nobody else's job to create new habits so that you can be happier, more successful, and live a fuller life, right? So unless you intentionally go ahead and fight a bad habit, it is going to just keep repeating itself because it's automated in your system. So you have to intentionally fight a bad habit and replace it with a new habit until unless you don't find the new habit that you want to create. You have to keep on going ahead and be consistent, be firm, be strict with yourself, and go over it again and again. Usually, they say it takes 21 days to form a habit. So, for example, if you want to go ahead and incorporate reading in your day to day life, then you can go ahead and start your day with 5 minutes of reading and end your day with 5 minutes of reading. And if you go ahead and do a task at a particular time every single day, for example, you wake up at 7 o'clock and you sit down and read for 5 minutes at 7:30 sharp every single day, then after 21 days, that would have become your habit. So that's a good way of looking at starting your habits. You can you can go ahead and start doing anything that you want, really, by forming a habit out of it. So decide your actions, decide your routines that you would like to have, and just use the habit loop to your advantage. The key to creating positive changes for yourself is to make your desired actions into habits. Now, the good news is that habits are not your destiny. You can go ahead and ignore a habit, replace a habit, or change a habit at any given point in time in your life. The only thing that is stopping you from creating new habits is you yourself. So, I know that it's not going to be easy creating new habits because habits have been created inside you for a very long period of time without you even realizing it. But you have to understand that a bad habit never really disappears. All you can do is you can replace a bad habit with a new habit. And how can you do it? There's a golden rule of habit change, okay? So there's a cue or a trigger which leads you to routine, and routine leads you to reward. So you go ahead and follow the same trigger or the cue. If it's the same time that you sit down to watch TV every single day, then you sit down and watch TV. Then you sit down at the same time. But instead of watching TV, here, the routine, you change your watching TV to maybe reading a book for that much amount of time. And then that leads you to reward, which is the pleasure seeking chemical that is released in your brain because you went ahead and indulged in the task that you liked, which comforted you, which you were excited about. And it's going to, if you follow this entire structure, then you're going to change your habit of watching TV to reading a book during that time and still feeling happy and gratified at the end of it all. And after 21 days, it will become your habit. And they also say that after 90 days, if you consistently, repeatedly do something, it becomes a lifestyle. So if you continue it for 90 days, then reading book will become a lifestyle for you. So it's easier said and done. I totally understand it. But how do you break the bad habits? Now, breaking bad habits is not easy because a habit can be a curse or a benefit, like I said before. The funny thing about the bad habits is that um, even though it's causing a havoc in our lives and we know that we have to break away from it, it becomes extremely hard to do it because our brains don't like the word no. And when we say no to something, then it becomes even more attractive. And we want to go ahead and do it even more. So, if you've ever been in a bad relationship and you knew that you had to break away from it, but you couldn't because you were in a comfort zone, it had become a routine, you were quite used to the other person and everything that came with that relationship. And to be honest, you did not have enough willpower to break away from it. So, we have to realize that yes, it's good to be in a comfort zone. It's really nice to have the same things repeating over and over again in our life. But if it's not giving us happiness in due course of time, then it's not worth it. What's worth it is that removing that particular habit from your life so you can think about the long term benefits and long term gratification and happiness ultimately. Sometimes it is necessary to get rid of things that are preventing you from achieving your happiness and success in life. So now that we know that it is not going to be easy and that our brain doesn't know the difference between bad habits and good habits, um, all it knows is that once you keep repeatedly doing something, an action, then you get the same kind of reward. And once you get that, then it will get added to your auto routine. So you have to firstly identify the culprit, the cue, the thing that's instigating you, right? So you have to go ahead and identify the culprit. You know what are the habits that you need to break away from. And if you do not know what habits you have to break away from, then it is your job to sit down with yourself and evaluate why you're not happy or why you failed at something that you did or why you're not successful in a particular thing. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe you're eating unhealthily. Maybe you're not getting enough exercise. Maybe you're indulging yourself with a lot of negative self talk or negative people around you. So it is your job to sit down with yourself and evaluate what the culprit really is and then be honest with yourself. And once you're honest with yourself, then get to the root cause of your actions and examine your motives. And if there is something that you can pinpoint on, then go ahead and start changing that habit. So once you start recognizing and identifying that particular culprit, then it becomes easier to replace the bad habit with a new and a good habit. Now, most habits are caused by either boredom or anxiousness. If you drink too much or smoke too much, or you're indulging in overeating or not exercising at all, or spending too much time on the internet, then these are activities that you're doing because you're bored or you're anxious. And it may seem innocent in the beginning, but if you see later on, it builds up and becomes a routine, which is not really good for you because you're whiling away your time, your life, in doing some activities that are not really fruitful for you. So, when you've identified a bad habit, just stopping it cold turkey is not a good idea. So, like I said before, the brain doesn't like the word no. The more you say no, the more attractive that thing is. So if you've identified the culprit, then don't stop it immediately. Give your give your brain some time to understand it, accept it, process it, and then you can go ahead and start replacing it with a better habit. Because if you instantly go ahead and stop a bad habit, you're going to be causing too much trouble to yourself because it might lead you to permanently have that bad habit instead of eliminating it. So once you have recognized it, then the best thing to do is replace the bad habit with a good habit. And you have to replace it with something that is going to give you the same kind of entertainment, the same kind of comfort. So instead of reaching out for that cake when you're feeling down, why not go ahead and make a salad? Or instead of going out pub hopping or clubbing with your friends on a Friday or a Saturday night, why not organize a trip in the nature? The replacement should be an activity that you actually look forward to, you're excited about, you're happy about it, and you feel comfortable doing it. Because at the end of it all, you don't want to force yourself into doing something that you do not enjoy. And if you're not going to enjoy it, then that particular task that you're trying to do at that same time, when you're trying to eliminate the bad habit, you're not going to stay consistent, and it will eventually fade away, and you will again lean into bad habit. So make sure that you take up a habit that is actually going to give you that gratification. So once you have identified the culprit and you have thought of a new habit that you want to inculcate in your life, and you want to replace your bad habit with a good habit, then comes being firm, being strict, and being consistent. Like I said before, that our brain doesn't like the word no. Everything forbidden suddenly becomes something that we want to reach out to. We want to grab that particular thing, right? So instead of stopping yourself from doing something, do something that is going to be exciting. And once you're doing that something exciting, then make sure that you do it every single day. You do it every single time. Be consistent. Only you can be strict with yourself. No one else can, because only you can change what you're trying to change within yourself. So be strict with yourself. You should technically be finding yourself, or finding yourself means every time if you're deciding to give up on drinking, and you're going slow and steady, and you've brought your capacity down to say 1 glass of alcohol a day, then if you're reaching beyond that 1 glass and filling up that second glass, then create a jar which will be your fine jar. So you go ahead and put $5 every time you refill that second glass. So the idea is that you punish yourself in a way, and when you punish yourself, then the bad habit becomes painful, and when that bad habit becomes painful, it will stop rewarding your brain, and eventually your brain is going to let go of that bad habit. So be firm, be strict with yourself, and be consistent, because it's easy to give into temptation, but it's going to be a bit of hard work to inculcate new and better habits, which is going to lead you to leading a better and a more fulfilling life, a happy life. So you've identified the culprit, you've gone ahead and replaced your bad habit with a new habit, and you've been strict with yourself, you've been firm with yourself, you've been consistent. Now the last thing is the best thing. You reward yourself. So how do you reward yourself? It's simple. Just give a pat on your back. You deserve it, because you worked hard every single time by saying no to the bad habit that you had built over a period of time, and you've gone ahead and inculcated a new habit. So give yourself a round of applause, and give yourself a pat on the back, because because you're doing well for yourself. Maybe go ahead and indulge in a nice meal because you always wanted it, or buy yourself a new dress, or get yourself a new book. Whatever you want to do, just reward yourself. And I don't mean that you should be going ahead and rewarding yourself massively every time. Small rewards would go a long way. Our brain loves to be gratified, and it will reinforce activities that are rewarding. So go ahead and reward yourself, which is super important in this entire changing habits. So I would like to listen to whatever habits you are pledging to change in 2021 and how you're going to go ahead and do it and how you're going to stick to it. Please make sure that you write your comments in the comment box below. Until next time, much love.